What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, and in today's video we're going to be talking about sales skills. That's right, I'm going to be going into sales skills, why sales skills are so important, and different things that you can do to impact your pitch and your sales process when wholesaling real estate. This video is going to be really beneficial, so make sure you stick around to the very end of the video. Also, make sure you go down below, hit the red button, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. Other than that, let's get right into the video. So that's right, today we're going to be talking about sales skills. Why are sales skills so important? Well, the fact of the matter is you need to be able to talk well. You need to be able to present yourself well in life. It doesn't matter whether it's wholesaling real estate, whether it's pest control sales, solar sales, whether you're just trying to get a normal job at a restaurant or at a store. It doesn't matter. You need to be able to sell yourself. You want to know how to become successful in life? Most people that watch my channel want to become an entrepreneur and they want to build massive success for themselves. Well, guess what you need to do in order to become successful? Some of the basics of just becoming successful are being able to talk well, being able to sell yourself to others on why they should believe in you, why they should entrust in you. So out of everything you could possibly learn, I could teach you how to make $1 million in real estate. I could teach you how to get your first wholesale deal. I could teach you how to do seller financing. I could teach you how to do novations. I could teach you how to do marketing. It doesn't matter, right? None of those other things matter. The number one thing that's going to separate you from everybody else is your sales skills and how you can present yourself and sell yourself. So let's jump into that. It starts with building confidence. How do you build confidence? It's not caring about what other people think. That's important. It's hard for me to do that. It's hard for everybody to do that, but you need to get better at it. You need to try to remember that it doesn't matter what they think, because think about it like this. Whatever they think about me right now, will it matter to me in 5 years? No, it won't. So stop caring what people think. Now, another way to build confidence is doing things that make you feel good about yourself, that make you feel like a job was done well. So that means putting in a lot of hard work into your business, into your life, into becoming a better person every single day. In the gym, whatever it is, feeling like you accomplished something gives you confidence. So make sure you're accomplishing something and moving forward your life every single day, and that's how you can build confidence. That's one of the important things to being able to sell yourself, being confident. Now you need to get good at speaking, right? In order to be willing to speak and be good at speaking, you got to be confident, but then you also need to practice speaking well. I didn't used to be able to jump on the camera and talk like this. You can go watch my very first YouTube video where I'm telling you how I got my first wholesale deal. I'm like 17 years old, I'm nervous, and I sound horrible. I sound like I'm shaking. Well, with practice, everything gets better. And how do you practice speaking? The absolute best way to practice speaking when getting started is to look in the mirror and start talking. Start talking about why you're the man. Start talking about why you're the woman of your dreams. Start talking about why you can achieve anything through hard work. Whatever it is, just start talking in the mirror. Start moving your hands and, start using different tonalities and fluctuating your voice and just practice talking. That's number one. Number two is record yourself talking. Obviously, if you're wholesaling real estate, you're going to be making cold calls to sellers, so those will be the perfect recordings for you to listen to. Now, if you're not cold calling yet, set up your phone, voice memos, and start recording yourself talking. Listen back to these recordings and listen to what you don't like and make changes. If you're constantly saying you like, if you're constantly saying you know, or right, like sometimes I do this stuff. What I do is I re-listen to myself and I try to correct these things and make changes. So build that confidence, practice speaking, and that is the first way to get on the road to be really good at sales. And so make sure you're doing that. So now that we talked about, the basics of sales and what you got to be good at the basic level, right? And how it's so important to be able to sell yourself in life and how it's so important to be able to talk well, let's talk about different sales techniques. Number one is building rapport. What is building rapport? Building rapport is being able to build a relationship with the prospect or the customer. And as long as you have worked on your social skills and you have some decent social skills, building rapport should be a breeze. It should be super easy for you. All it means is not talking just about business. It means talking about other things than business so that way you can build a relationship. So if you're wholesaling real estate, don't just talk about the offer. Don't just talk about the house. Talk about different things. If you're struggling to find what to talk about, there's this technique called the FORE method, F-O-R-E. These are 4 things that everybody can talk about in order to build rapport. Family, occupation, recreation, and education. Pretty much everybody got these 4 to talk about. Everybody's got these 4 to talk about. So when you're with the prospect, when you're with the customer, start talking about those 4 things. Next, let's talk more about tonality and energy. You got to be able to change your tonality. It is so important. And you got to be able to have good energy. Nobody wants to work with, nobody wants to do business with somebody that has bad, low energy. So I want you to raise that energy through the roof, and I want you to be able to change your tonality. Up, down, up and down. Change your tonality, okay? That is how you're going to become a better salesman. That's how you're going to have people gravitate towards you and want to do business with you. So it's all about fluctuating your voice, and it's all about that positive attitude and that high energy. Now let's focus a little bit more on wholesaling specific sales skills. So first, let's talk about your intro. The intro to a phone call is the most important because that's where you can grab somebody. And if you're not able to grab them, they're just going to hang up on you. So you need to be able to get past that intro so that way you can have meaningful conversations and actually progress in getting a deal. So my favorite intro is to be able to do your intro in under 10 seconds and tell them who you are, why you're calling, and why they should listen. These are the 3 things that everybody wants to know. And I want you to start with high energy, and in the middle I want you to have monotone professionalism, and at the end I want you to have a question tone. These are the 3 different tonalities you should use in your intro. So tell them who you are. Hey, this is Jacob with Home Buyers. I'm calling to give you a cash offer for your property. And then I'm going to ask them for the shortest amount of time. Do you have a second? I'm asking them for the smallest amount of time with a question tone because they're most likely going to cue yes because I just asked for the shortest amount of time, a second, so they're probably going to say yes. But if I ask them stuff like, is this a bad time to talk? Or did I call you at a bad time? Guess what I'm doing? I'm giving them an exit. I'm giving them an easy exit to say, yes, it's a bad time and hang up. I don't know why a lot of people in this industry and in other sales and phone sales industry, they teach you to ask somebody if it's a bad time. Yes, is it considerate to do that? Yes, is it nice to do that and shows that you care about them? But you're giving them an easy exit. We don't want to give them an exit. We want to control the phone call. So don't ask them, is it a bad time? Ask for a second of their time and they'll say yes. The intro is so important. If you're able to get through that intro, you're going to have what I call when you have them, you have them. Now you're going to be able to have so many more meaningful conversations. Now that we've covered the intro, let's talk about the importance of consistency and control variables and having a sales process. Let's talk about the straight line. Shout out to Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, the straight line theory. It's the only way to look at sales and actually be able to have control variables and a sales process. Every sales call is different. Every seller, every prospect, every customer you're talking to, the situation is going to be different, but you can still go from open to close and keep the straight line in mind. So the straight line is your sales process. You're going along that sales process from open to closing the deal, closing the sale and getting the deal. Okay? And when you're in control of the call, you're going to be following that straight line. But when the seller or the customer or the prospect brings you off that straight line with something random or distracts the call from where it needs to be going, you're going to be off the straight line. So let's say they don't like your offer. Let's say they don't like the product or the service. You're going to be off that straight line, and it is your job as the salesman to bring them back to that straight line and continue moving them along the straight line to the close. Now, along the straight line, you need a sales process. So that's going to be from open to close. You have to figure out what you're going to say and what you're going to do. So in wholesaling real estate, we have our intro, we have our information find where we're finding out the condition of the property. We have our building rapport before we give the offer. We have where we ask for the asking price. This is where we run our numbers and we comp the property and we calculate our offer. This is where we present the offer. This is where we remove rebuttals. And then this is where we go for the close. That is our sales process when wholesaling real estate. And that's what we do along the straight line. Your intro needs to be the same every time. Your sales process needs to be the same every time for you to have a control variable. If you don't have any control variables where you're doing the same thing every time, you will not know where to adjust your approach and change your approach in order to do better. You won't be able to find out what you're doing wrong because you haven't done anything the same multiple times over to find the issues with it. So you need to make sure you're keeping consistent and having control variables along your sales process. That being said, these are some key tips on how to become very good at sales and how to present yourself better and how to sell yourself to the world and become successful. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, also hit the red button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.